My name is Cliff Robertson, alias J.W. Coop, and I've got a secret.
From Hollywood, the show that reveals all, I've Got a Secret. And now here's the star of I've Got a Secret, Steve Allen.
I were a movie star like him. He could wear Levi's and any old thing. Look at me, I have to get all dressed up. Oh, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to I've Got a Secret. Tonight's panelists are the bright, beautiful, and talented actress Anita Gillette, Broadway and television star Bert Convy, film and television star Jayne Meadows, and the very quick quip stub, Mr. Richard Dawson. There's our panel.
Here we go again. Hello.
I hate to do this because the four of you look so very attractive, but would you hide your little eyes, put your heads right down on the panel.
Our pleasure.
Don't peek for just a moment or two while we bring in tonight's first guest. Thank you, Johnny. All right. Everything appears in order. You may look up now, panel, for all the good it'll do you. And we're going to ask this gentleman to tell us his name. Bud Hilpert. Panel is the gentleman's name, and if you'll whisper your secret to me, Mr. Hilpert, and I'll bring it here over so you can do that, we'll let the audience know what it is. All right. Okay, panel, it is something that Mr. Hilpert is doing right now, and we'll start the questioning with Anita Gillette.
Oh, Mr. Hilpert, you were doing this while you were sitting there?
Yes, I
Are you
am.
using your hands while you're doing this?
No, I'm not.
Are you using your feet?
Yes?
You are using your feet. You are doing something with your feet. Are you doing it to anything?
To something, yes.
You are doing it to something. Are you kneading?
Very good start, Anita.
Kneading.
1 down and 3 to go. Bert?
Thank you, Steve. Mr. Hilpert, you're doing it with your feet. Are you holding something in your foot while you're doing it?
No, I'm not.
Oh. I pass. That was it, folks. You're not painting with your feet, then?
As a matter of fact, that's exactly what he is doing.
Oh!
Yep. Thank you, John. Yes, we'll move this out of the way and let the panel see what they figured out anyway. And as our viewers can tell, because we have a camera over his shoulder, he's doing quite a beautiful and impressive job. It's very fancy footwork.
Is that marshmallow?
Marshmallow?
No, it isn't.
Great.
It isn't, but I can tell you're hungry, Jayne.
Yeah.
Whenever Jayne starts talking about marshmallow, I know it's calorie time again. What is your actual occupation, Mr. Hilpert?
I'm the administrator of the HERE Foundation.
Yeah.
What's the HERE Foundation?
The HERE Foundation is an organization that works with deaf and deafblind youngsters in Pasadena.
Well,
It stands for Hearing Education Through Auditory Research.
very admirable work.
Marvelous, marvelous.
Thank you.
How did you get into this business of painting with your feet when it would be so easy to do it with your hands?
Well, I'm not sure I could do it with my hands. We had, we have an art festival every year to raise money for the HERE Foundation, that we always need, and I was kidding one of the finger painters, a very talented man, and I said, that's not really where it's at. Feet painting is going to really be big this year, and so we had a little fun, and we're joking, and...
It was just a spur-of-the-moment comment.
It was a joke, and still is, really, and somebody bought it for $40, and that started it, all the newspapers and TV.
Yes, that's $40 a foot, you understand. It adds up. Well, as I said, your handiwork is admirable. By the way, Johnny, do we have a painting or two of the already finished category? Ah, thank you. What would these cost, seriously, if you had to buy these?
$100 to $150.
Wow.
Getting now.
Any takers?
Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much. We'll be right back.
I've got Got a Secret will continue in just 1 minute.
Meet our next guests. This young man looks a little bit like our now 15-year-old son. When he first came out today, I thought I was at home. Would you tell us your name, young man?
My name's Chad Weber,
Chad Weber. Where are you from, Chad?
Woodland Hills, California.
Woodland Hills. And this gentleman panel, for the time being anyway, we're going to identify as Mr. X, if you don't mind. Where are you from, Mr. X?
Los Angeles, California.
Los Angeles area. Panel, the information is that these two people do something together in television and motion pictures. Chad, will you whisper your secret to me?
Do something together?
Uh-huh. And, of course, your secret, Mr. X? Okay, panel, as I say, the secret is it's about something they do together in television and motion pictures. We'll start the questioning with Richard Dawson.
Yeah, Chad, are you an actor?
Yeah.
Mr. X, are you also an actor?
No.
Basically, no, but you might get a little teensy-weensy piece of it.
Well, then,
yes.
are you an actress? Do you play... No. I wondered if you did stunt work, and there are certain stunts where a gentleman will dress...
never mind, is it?
At least that's my story, and I'm stuck with it, Mr. X. Do you handle Chad as an actor? Are you an agent or a manager?
No.
I've lost interest doing that.
Thank you for clearing away a few possibilities. Anita?
Well, I was trying to think of what goes together. The only thing, Chad, do you do voices for cartoons by any chance?
Yes.
Do you? And Mr. X, do you draw the cartoons that he acts?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes, I do.
Now all I have to do is find out which, what, where, how, what.
As we say, you are warm.
I'm warm. I'm warm. What? You are a voice of a famous character.
Yes.
Are you a voice? I don't know all the cartoons. You an animal? You play an animal or a kid?
No.
No. Bert Convy?
Oh.
You don't... Oh, you don't play an animal. You play a little person, perhaps?
Yeah.
You're not the voice of Charlie Brown, are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
That's right. Jayne, do you have any idea who Mr. Melendez might be, now that I've given you his name?
He's Snoopy.
Right. You all put it together very well indeed, panel. They are the voices of the Peanuts cartoon characters, Charlie Brown and Snoopy, and this is Mr. Bill Melendez of Bill Melendez Productions. Incidentally, if you're wondering how a grown man got the part of Snoopy, it's because he is also the producer of the Peanuts. He hired himself, and he was a very hard bargainer, I must say. What's the latest Peanuts gang film?
Well, we have a feature film out. It's called Snoopy Come Home.
Right.
And some, half-hour specials.
Yes. Chad, could you give us a sample of what you sound like in the films?
Snoopy's gone. He got a letter from a girl that was in the hospital and who wanted to see him. And now it looks like he's never coming back.
I can't sleep, and today I even opened a can of dog food and took it out to the doghouse. Before I remembered, he was gone.
To show you all what Snoopy sounds like, not that we don't know already, we have a little clip to show the audience Snoopy sneaking into a library and finding a very funny book and making a little too much noise for a library, actually. Mr. Melendez was telling me just before the show that the reason his laughter, which you just heard, doesn't sound like Snoopy's is that he laughs normally and then they speed up the tape a little bit.
A little bit.
To make that kind of a high cartoony sound, you know, that kind of thing.
A little tiny unreal sound that, you know, speeding up the track does.
Well, it's adorable. Thank you both very much for joining us, and we'll be continuing to hear you. Thank you.
We'll be back with our guest star, Cliff Robertson, right after these messages.
You know, one of the best pictures of the year is a picture called J.W. Coupe. I must have heard 50 people tell me how great it is, and I'm going to see it this week. I want you to meet now the man who put it all together, the Academy Award-winning actor, Mr. Cliff Robertson. Cliff, I really congratulate you on that picture, and I think many of your fans are aware that not only do you star in it, but you produced it, you directed it, and you participated in writing the script as well, right?
It's the cheapest writer, director, actor I could get.
He also handled the popcorn out
Right.
of the thing, and it was all that kind of stuff. And he parked the cars very well at the premiere, I must say. But it's a great picture. Now, I understand you have a little game you're going to play with the panel involving secrets, huh?
Yes, Steve, every week the panel is busy guessing other people's secrets, so tonight I'm going to find out some of theirs and reveal mine as well.
I see. And how do you propose to do all that?
Well, here are some of the questions. And
that's this group of questions right here. I see. And you want me to put these to the 5 of you. That's the plan.
Right.
All right. Now, it isn't just a simple matter of you're answering the individual questions. For example, if I say, how many of you wear glasses, you would say yes or no. It's not that simple. What I want you to guess, panel, and you too, Cliff, is how many of the 5 of you do a certain thing or do not. So here's the first question. How many of you have ever been arrested and taken to a police station? If you think 3 or 4 of you have, write 3 or 4 on your cards with your ink pens and hold them up as quickly as you can. How many of you have ever been arrested and taken to a police station? Okay, that's about all the time it should take you to write a number. Anita, what number did you write?
Well, I wrote 2 because I almost was once, and I figured that if I almost did, certainly Dickie has.
Yeah.
I object, Your Honor.
And I think that Cliff probably has 2 for maybe 2 for research or something.
Could well be the case.
Very well.
Bert Convy, how did you vote on this
Well,
question?
I have to agree with Anita. She knows a couple of jailbirds when she sees them, and I said Dick and Cliff have been in jail. No 2 ways about it.
Have you personally? No.
No,
I guess
sir,
not.
I have not.
Okay, so far the answer, so far as we know, is 0, but we'll see. Jane, what about you?
That's interesting because I put down 1 because I thought if ever I thought somebody looked like a jailbird, it's Bert. Else is innocent.
Oh,
But you.
I didn't do it.
Oh,
And we may assume then, Jane, that you have not been arrested.
no, darling.
Not that I know.
You would know about it, wouldn't you?
I would know a thing like that. I better know. Okay, Richard?
I put down 7 because I felt Bert had been in more than one. No, I put 1
Uh-huh.
because I happen to know that Bert was arrested once for overacting. I have never.
You know. So far the answer is 0. Cliff, what about you?
well, I put down 1 because I never have, but I know Dick Dawson and have known him for years, and he's been skirting the law for years.
Well, I
don't
plead
know what-
insanity.
That's right. And if you don't stop wearing that skirt, you're really going to... Anyway, the answer is 0, so nobody really hit it on the button. Here's another question. How many of you have ever actually met, I don't mean just to see from a distance, but really met a real king or a real queen?
King or queen?
That's a king as opposed
really
to an
in
emperor.
person.
Yes, an actual king and queen of some country someplace. Not a prince or a princess or an agent from the William Morris office or anything of that sort. But an actual king or queen. Okay, Anita, what have you written down?
Well, I put 3.
3.
Because Jayne looks like she would have met a king or a queen, and I mean, I think that she's, you know, she's very elegant and all that.
Yes.
And Dickie, being English, you know, certainly think that he must have met his queen at some time or another.
Yeah, we were.
And then
We were arrested together, as a matter of fact. Great opinion you have of me.
Bert, what do you have on the card?
Yes, I put 1 also. I thought Dick had met a queen soon in his life, and I put 1.
Okay, but you two have not, so
No, I have
far
not.
it's a 0. Jane?
I put 1, not because of Dickie being British, but I sort of figured that Cliff Robertson, with all those wonderful movies, undoubtedly has been to Buckingham Palace.
From outside the gate, I've
Well, if you haven't, then I don't know who on the panel has.
Richie,
I never
what about
have.
you?
I said 2. I have met the Queen of England. I did a Royal Command performance, and as a matter of fact, she stumbled and I held her. But another guy had an ace and took the pot. But I have a feeling that Cliff possibly has met the Queen.
Have you, Cliff?
No, I haven't. The closest
Would you like to?
The closest I ever came, I was invited to a small dinner party of Princess Margaret's in London. I was doing a movie, and at the last minute I realized that the wardrobe man had forgotten to give me some black shoes.
Oh.
So I had to regret for other reasons. But I thought all
for
these...
2 reasons.
Right. I felt that all these people living in Hollywood, surely they may not have met many kings, but I'm sure they know a few queens around.
All right. Well, it turns out that Bert and Jayne had the correct answer, which is 1. Okay, very good. The next question. How many of you have ever gone swimming in your birthday suit, as the saying has it? Anita has already written the number down. What is it, dear?
Well, not including you, Steve, right? I figure all of us have, you know. I have.
All right.
So I figured they have, you
Certainly
know. It's a
nothing wrong with it. Bert, Convy?
Well, depends on who you're with.
Of course.
Oh, really?
Or if you're alone or something.
Whatever. What do you say, Bert?
I said 5 because I think if anybody here hasn't, they wouldn't want to admit it. Isn't that funny?
Interesting psychology. I hadn't thought of that. Jayne, how about you?
Well, I say 5 because I figure if I have, everybody else has.
Fair enough. Richard?
I said 5, but there's a reason. I thought I was the only one on the panel that went, because the 4 that went with me were Doc, Dopey, Sleepy, and Baxter.
So far, the answer is 4. Thank you, Richard. What about you, Cliff?
Well, I said 5 because everybody else said 5.
Did you go swimming?
No, yes, I've done it a few times.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. You don't have to tell us how many times.
Okay.
And the answer then is 5, and you all got that one correct. You all know each other quite well.
Very honest, don't you?
We have time for just one more quick round. How many of you have ever had an honorary title, a serious one, I don't mean a silly title, bestowed on you, such as Father of the Year or Miss Watermelon of Minnesota or whatever, you know, something like that? How many of you have ever really been given some such honor? Yeah, I hope to see those little pens going in just a second or two there. And they knit their brows. And Anita has a number. What is it, Anita?
It's 3.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what my title was. I know that I was a something or other. I won the frog jumping contest here once. Does that qualify me?
Did you jump a frog, or how did you do
And
that?
I was Miss Rossville, Maryland once.
Oh, good. That qualifies. Bert, what about you?
Yes, I said 3 as well. I figure some 3 of us must have had some title or other, and may
Did
not
you
want to
have?
talk about it. Yes, one year, I don't know what year it was, 68 or 5 or 6, I was the best-dressed actor on Broadway, if you can believe that.
The show was Oh, Calcutta.
All right.
Jayne, how do you think the
I
group
didn't
fared?
realize those titles counted. I would have said 5. I think everybody's won something. Oh, I remember one year we were Mr. and Mrs. Most Happily Married or something. About 18 years ago.
You were most happily married, and I was something. That's right. No, we were. That's very true.
I said, what have I got here?
2.
Yes, I figured that if we had that, somebody else on the panel had something.
Good figuring. How about you, Richard?
I said 3. I know Cliff has gotten awards, and
Yes.
the biggest one that our business can give. I have never gotten an award. As a matter of fact, they couldn't do the show This Is Your Life about me because I have no friends. It's a very
We're a little bit late, Cliff. How did you rate on this one?
I thought everybody did. I have, and I felt sure that this very distinguished panel had too.
Well, it turns out that 5 then is the correct answer.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you very much, and be sure to see J.W. Coop. Thank you, Cliff. We'll be right back.
I've Got a Secret returns after these words.
we're just a little late. Time for one more guest. We already have her out. Would you tell us your name?
Virginia Matthews.
Virginia Matthews. Where do you live?
In Upland, California.
Mrs. Matthews' secret panel concerns something unusual that was sent by parcel post 50 years ago. If you'll whisper your secret to me, Mrs. Matthews, we'll let the audience know what it was. As I say, panel, it's something that was sent by parcel post 50 years ago. We'll start the questioning with Bert Convy.
Yes. How many years ago, Steve? I didn't hear that.
50 years ago.
50 years ago, and it was delivered to you. Was it an appliance of some kind?
It has not been established it was delivered to her. It was not an appliance. You're out of line, Bert.
I could kill myself. Is that my only question? Is that it? Did you blow the whistle on me yet? No.
I have one more.
I have one more. Did you order it?
No.
No.
You couldn't. How could you order it?
Okay, good start, Bert.
Now,
Jayne?
if it was sent but did not arrive, could it have been maybe not an object of some kind? Was it more in the nature of a proposal, possibly?
No.
No.
It wasn't. Clear the vote.
Richard?
No more drinks for Miss Matthews while I ask. My love, was this a human, a live gift when it was originally sent?
It was a human and it was alive.
Yes.
Well, then I'll withdraw the question. Was it a relative of yours?
No.
Well, then don't answer the parcel.
Anita, it's up to you.
It was a human being? Was it your husband?
No.
Was it your mother?
No.
Was it you?
Yes.
Very briefly, the story was that she was visiting her grandfather. We just have a couple of seconds, so I have to tell the story fast. They wanted to get her back home. He couldn't take her, so he called the postman who delivered how?
By horse and buggy.
Horse and buggy.
Yeah.
They actually had to put the stamps on her. She has the stamps here to prove it.
Oh.
And this proves that even 40 years before television, you could get canceled. You see there? Thank you very much, Mrs. Matthews. A remarkable story. And thank you. We'll see you all next week here on I've Got a Secret. Thank you very much.
$100,000 of their own money is the buy-in to the most exclusive poker game in the world. With Daniel Negreanu, Doyle Brunson, and more, millions are on the table in the first televised cash game of its kind. High Stakes Poker. Monday nights at 9, only on GSN.
GSN.